What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sammy Says, and I am back with another review for Lb Roomies. And there's 3 episodes left, so I didn't realize that this season was only 6 episodes. It was kind of a short season. So I feel like I'm just going to wrap this thing on up. We're going to do episodes 4, 5, and 6 all in one. So let's get into it. Episode 4 opens back up with Jazz at the hospital. So, in the previous episode, during filming, she had gotten sick. And so they transported her to the hospital and she was treated for malnutrition and arthritis in her legs and her knees. And all these are things that the doctor told her would happen. That was the importance of why she told her you've got to make sure you're taking your protein, your vitamins, and eating and drinking as much as you can, despite having a decreased appetite due to the shot. So that's exactly what she said would happen. That if you don't prioritize eating the right things when you can, that it'll cause your muscles and stuff to break down. And so that's what happened. And so Nisha wants her to stop taking the shot. She's considering it, but she's worried about not being able to meet her goal to qualify for surgery. So understandable, but you want to be healthy at the same time. So the next scene, Nisha meets up with Bree, hey friend, at a food truck. And I don't know what they got. It sounded like some kind of noodle rice bowl with steak and shrimp. And it looked really good. And the way Nisha was carrying on, I'm like, I gotta.
You smell that butter?
Girl, it smells
It smells so good. I can feel it in my
good.
soul.
If I could live in garlic butter,
Ooh, just bathe in it.
so good.
God,
We can't let our girl go out like that.
damn.
Listen, this garlic butter is hitting for
I
sure.
don't even need no sauce.
Put me on. I need one of them bowls too. So apparently, Jazz and Nisha are only a couple days apart. And so for their birthday, Nisha's planning a trip to a cabin in Big Bear and to just have a girls' weekend. So Bree is on board as well, and they're just making plans and finalizing plans. Bree asks how has it been going for Nisha in her DMs since she signed up for that dating website.
So let's talk about the last time I checked, we had made a dating profile. So what's going on with that? We got some matches on there.
I don't need no man. I just need this plate.
And she said the DMs is flooded. The men are coming, okay? But I guess there's nobody that she really wanted to pursue. She did, however, say that Joel asked her on a date. She said this is his pattern.
If I get attention on social media from someone, he blows me up. When I post a new video or picture, he blows me up. Every time. Every time. He hit me up like, oh, let's go on a date. I want to take you out.
I know you lie.
So he asked her to go on a date. They haven't been on a date in the 20 years that they've been messing with each other, but now all of a sudden he want to take you on a date. So we see you, Joel. We hip. You ain't fooling nobody. So Nisha does agree to go on a date with him. They meet at a restaurant, and it almost looks like an IHOP or a Denny's or some kind of chain diner style type of restaurant like that.
You made it, yay.
What is this?
What do you mean? It's dinner.
Oh,
Here you go, these are for you.
Thank you.
You wanna come sit down over here?
I see the tablecloth and I see the candles and I'm embarrassed. Like, I don't know. Like, you could have just took me to a nicer place instead of taking me to a less nice place and then trying to make it nice.
Anyway, he's sitting there looking goofy, and they have, order food or whatever. It's a little awkward. And she's like, so what made you ask me on a date? And he's like, well, you said you wanted to go on a date. So I figured, why not? Why not me? So Nisha at this point is like wanting something a little more substantial or a little more concrete with him. So she asked him straight up, like, I thought that you wanted to go on a date maybe because you wanted to take our relationship to another level. Are you interested in exclusivity? The dreaded "what are we" conversation that I promised myself I would never have again. Because if you have to ask, you already know. And he confirms, just that he's comfortable with the way things are.
I want it to be just like me and you, like together in a relationship. Like,
Exclusively?
yeah,
What do you mean? I thought we were kind of had a thing going.
like it's homeboy and homegirl.
I mean, I don't know why you want to put a title on it. I think we've kind of been cool for the last 20 years or so, right? This is the best I can do right now, so this is just where it's gonna be. If it's either gonna be here or not. It kind of bothered me. Like, I thought that was already known.
He thinks that they, have a good thing going as far as being friends with benefits, and he wants to keep it going. And Nisha says she felt a little ashamed. She felt her feelings, was hurt. But at the same time, I mean, he's been consistent. He hadn't expressed interest or tried to make other moves outside of this date. And I think this is probably for TV, honestly. You want to look good on TV. But yeah, he's comfortable with the way that things are. So she does not want that. And so she said she needed to take some space from him. So the friends arrive and they load up the car and they drive to Big Bear. Nisha's driving, and oh, the scary part always when I look at people driving in the mountains, it's like it looks like you're gonna drive off the end of the cliff, like drive off the edge. You're so close. Like, can I get a few more inches of road here? But they make it up the mountain into the cabin. And the car ride really aggravated Jazz's arthritis. So she was really in pain. And by the time they got there, she couldn't even get out of the car. She was in so much pain. They get into the cabin and settle in and get some food and snacks going and some drinks. Bree arrives. She drove separately, but she arrives and everybody's in good spirits except for Jazz. She's really not feeling it. And it's kind of bringing the mood down. Everybody's trying to be positive and upbeat and have a girls' night and let's go make some s'mores or, have fun. And Jazz is unable to, and she does. She really feels bad. I understand. Maybe she should have sat this one out. And that was when Nisha clarified with her before they left. She was like, "Are you sure that you will be able to go? Do you feel like you'll be up for it physically?" And Jazz said, "Yeah, she wants to go." But then here they are, they get there and, she's not feeling it physically and mentally. So they're both kind of frustrated with one another. And so I'm glad that they had this opportunity to have interactions with friends outside of them to kind of put some perspective on things and to just hear them out. And so the next day, Nisha makes breakfast. She's the cook for sure because she was throwing down. So she gets up and makes a nice big breakfast for everybody, brings Jazz a plate, checks in on her and stuff. Jazz is, laying down and she's just like, "Hey, how you okay?" And Jazz is still kind of like, I don't feel bad. I'm in pain." And it's just rubbed Nisha the wrong way. She went out of her way to be considerate in her own way and have this birthday trip, and Jazz isn't able to enjoy it. And so she feels like her efforts are being taken for granted. So the other two friends, Bree and Artisha, take Nisha for a walk. They're like, "Come on, girl, we can tell you're frustrated. Let's go get some air." And meanwhile, their friend Tiffany stays back at the cabin and she goes in and talks to Jazz. And so they both kind of have the opportunity to get a listening ear and get understood and get some encouragement from people outside of their home. Nisha also tells everybody about Joel and her date and stuff and how she's like, "Yeah, I'm ready for him to go." And the friends are like, "Dang, oh, please, thank you, Jesus." So after their walk, they get back to the cabin and surprisingly, Jazz and Tiff cleaned up. They helped clean up the breakfast dishes and stuff and straighten up, and it really helped Nisha. It made her feel a little bit better because she felt like she was doing a lot and Jazz wasn't really able to appreciate it or enjoy it or anything. So that was a good effort. So they, packed up the car and left. And so back at home, Jazz is showing the diary cam. She's 100 pounds down. That's awesome. You can actually see it in her face too. But she did decide to stop taking the shot, which was also her doctor's recommendation as well. And so she's worried still about not wanting to be derailed from her surgery journey, but your health comes first overall. But then here we are. It's like maybe the same week or the week of, and that appetite came back in full force. And so Jazz has ordered food, she says, as a peace offering. Again, here we go with that emotional dynamic is coming back where they're appeasing or bribing or consoling one another, bonding over this food. Those habits are so hard to break and they can't be broken with just a shot or a surgery, so it is really mental. Um, but Jazz orders all this food and it looked like a lot. Like, I don't know what all it was, but she overdid it. The next scene Nisha's at her mom's, or she's at the daycare, and her mom asks her to speak to her, and she says that she's planning on retiring, that she's thought about it, she feels like it's time, and so she's going to close the daycare at the end of the month. Not a lot of notice, to Nisha or to the parents, that have to now find other childcare arrangements. But hey, that's on her mom. She's ready to retire. I understand. Ready for the next chapter. Nisha is worried though, because, the job with working with her mom has really come in handy. She's worried about what other kind of job she can do with her physical limitations. And it is triggering some feelings of abandonment that she still has about her upbringing with her mom. So Nisha's decided to hustle. She's going to take orders and just try and get some other streams of income. So she did get a couple of orders to make cupcakes for people. And so she's in the kitchen making the cupcakes and stuff, and Jazz is in there helping. And Jazz tells her that she's got a chair aerobics class coming up. That's another good form of exercise for mobility issues.
I signed up for a chair aerobics class
When are you going?
Thursday. You should go with me.
I can't go Thursday. It's when I have to deliver the cupcakes.
So I'm supposed to go by myself.
Yeah, why you can't go by yourself?
But that'll come back later. Jazz finally goes to therapy. Part of most bariatric programs is a therapy component. And so this gentleman is an addiction counselor. And I, for a second, thought I was watching 600-Pound Life, and I was expecting Dr. Paradise or Lola, shout out if you know. But no, it's this other counselor, and he's an addiction specialist. And he says of all the addictions, food is one of the hardest to really understand and to break. So Jazz talks about her past and how she grew up with seeing her mother in abusive relationships, and then chose abusive relationships as an adult as well. And that contributed to her holding on to things and using food as a coping mechanism, as a tool, as a survival tool. He encourages her to really work on changing her mindset, finding outreach, because people who are on the same journey. A lot of bariatric programs have groups that meet up as well. And so he encouraged her to go to Overeaters Anonymous, or find a group of like-minded people who are also on the same journey as you, or who have been there, that can understand. And she does still have that friend who lost all that weight, Melinda, baby mama, that she seems, she's lost a significant amount of weight herself. So find people that can be encouraging, because although Nisha is supportive, she's supporting in the way that the best way she knows how, she can't really understand or relate because she's in a different space in her journey, in her life. So we go to Thursday. It's Thursday. It's time for the class. It's also Nisha getting ready to go and deliver her cupcakes. Bree is going to come, and they're going to go deliver cupcakes together.
You ready
Am I ready for what?
to take me to the gym?
I can't take you to the gym.
Nish, we talked about this.
I understand you're saying we talked about it, but I also told you that I can't take you. I have to deliver these cupcakes.
You're not understanding. We had this conversation. I asked you, would you be willing to take me
And
to
I
the
didn't
class?
say yes.
You did.
I would have never told you yes when I know
I would have
had
made other
orders.
arrangements.
And so they kind of get into it. They have a misunderstanding and kind of get a little snippy, which I think this probably wasn't the real issue. The real issue is that they're frustrated with each other and have been for a while.
I think the thing is just like the dynamic of y'all friendship has just changed so much, with her making this lifestyle change and you not being on the same lifestyle change.
Right. But it's been wild lately, honestly. I feel like we both out of character.
Yeah. So anyway, Jazz ends up taking an Uber, and Nisha and Brie go deliver the cupcakes. While they're in the car, Jazz calls Nisha, and she's like, I just want to let you know I made it to class. And like, kind of with an attitude. And Nisha's like, okay, I'm glad. Have a good class. And Jazz is like, do you want to apologize? And Nisha's like, no, I don't. I don't feel like I have anything to apologize for. Nisha and Brie are going around delivering the cupcakes.
Oh, those cupcakes smell so good, girl.
Thank you, girl.
Mm. Mm.
So after they deliver cupcakes, they go and have lunch. And Jazz calls again. This time she FaceTime. I guess she's back home after her class and she's like, "What y'all doing?" She's like, "Y'all out eating? Oh man," whatever. But she was a little more lighthearted. And Nisha just talks about missing that side of Jazz. And she does, I think, notice a difference with Jazz not taking the shot or stop taking the shot, that her mood swings have kind of decreased. So we'll see. The episode ends with Jazz and Nisha going to Jazz's doctor appointment to see if she qualifies for surgery.
So we had you before at 630. We had a goal for you to be around 500. Okay, Jasmine, it's 5:30. You're clearly not there. You're like about 30 pounds over right now.
So she's a little bit off. And so she kind of is upset and beating herself up about not meeting the goal. The final episode, they pick back up at the doctor's office. Jazz didn't meet the goal, but
I am approving you for surgery today.
Okay. See?
You better go ahead, Dr. Dory. That's what I'm talking about.
She showed me that she's truly serious about getting healthier and being there for her daughter. I'm approving her for surgery today.
the doctor then asks Nisha, "So have you considered any more? When's the last time you weighed yourself?" Nisha's like, the last time I weighed myself, I was about 425. I've been doing everything Jazz been doing. I know I lost weight. She gets on the scale and she is down to 409. But you ain't been doing everything Jazz. She had to be kidding. But she's still not open to surgery. She wants to explore other options. And it's weird that the doctor didn't, or maybe she did and we didn't see it, but explain or give her other options outside of surgical. They have non-surgical options or minimally invasive things. So there are other options besides bariatric surgeries if somebody is not wanting to do that. They got a balloon they can put. So anyway, it's weird that they didn't maybe they will talk about that later. So to celebrate Jazz's approval, they have a get together, a gathering. And guess what? Nisha's cooking. And they got plates and plates and trays of food. Jazz, of course, leading up to surgery, you have to be on a liquid diet to prep for surgery. And so everybody is eating chicken and with all this good food that Nisha cooked, and Jazz is sitting there drinking her chicken broth. I'm like, why people? Why do we do this? We could have had to get together at the park or something, at the pool. Like, okay though. But everybody's supportive. Family and friends are there, and everybody is supportive and encouraging to Jazz. And yeah, happy about her surgery. Nisha's mom is also there. And so Nisha pulls her mom aside and she's talking about herself and just wanting to kind of understand and deal with the mental stuff, the mental aspect of why she chooses to overeat or binge eat, the root of where that came from. And a lot of that came from her upbringing. She tells her mom that she thinks maybe would it be a good idea for her to confront the pastor. And the mom's like, "I don't know about that. I don't think that's a good idea." But she does want to understand and address the root of her issues, and I think that that's important as well. That's equally as important, if not even more so, than having surgery or just losing weight quickly, is to understand why, so that you can then get better tools to deal with it when it happens again, when those feelings are triggered. So we get to the hospital the next morning, and of course, Jazz is nervous. Everybody's nervous. Her grandmother, Granny, and Poppy meet them there, and they're going to keep Nana for her while she's in the hospital. She goes in, everything looks good. She has the procedure, and it goes well. It goes smoothly.
So we're done with Jasmine. She did really well. She's in the recovery room.
Woo! Yay!
All right.
I'm super relieved that surgery went well for Jazz.
Mama, I'm so happy. I am. I really am so happy. I am. I'm glad she got what she wanted, what she needed, and I'm just overwhelmed. I am.
Jazz gets released home the following day, and so, it went well. The next scene, Nisha goes to get her hair braided back to Mimi. It's her friend Mimi who, grew up in the cult with her. And she talks to Mimi about talking to the pastor. And Mimi says, I don't think that's going to accomplish anything. Your healing has to come from within. It can't be dependent on whether or not you get acknowledgement or you get someone to own their mistakes or how they wronged you, an apology. You may never get those things, but you have to heal anyway. You have to heal for yourself. And so Nisha decides, okay, I hear what you're saying. And she decides to really just talk to her mom about it instead. That, maybe she can work on repairing some of their issues, that would help. That would be a good starting point. A couple of days later, at home, Jazz falls in the house and they have to call an ambulance. She can't get up. And apparently, her muscles, she's experiencing muscle atrophy. This is what the doctor said would happen, but obviously due to her being immobile for so long, her mobility being less and less. And so her hands also, she was experiencing some muscle, some nervous issues or so she has to stay in the hospital and do physical therapy before she can be released home. So she's depressed, she's scared, she's talking to Nisha on FaceTime and just really worried. She's talking to her daughter, Nana, and really feeling bad for herself. And I understand this is, of course, nobody wants to have complications after surgery. This is worst case scenario. Um, but I hope that people who are watching this take this as an example of what not to do. You have to follow the steps, because this is why they say take your protein, do the exercises, try to be more mobile before, the better shape that you're in prior to surgery is going to help with your recovery time. So eventually Jazz is in the hospital. She's in there for a couple weeks, but you see her kind of change her morale that, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get off my pity potty and I'm going to really put my all into this physical therapy. And so they show her, she makes some good progress. And then finally she's able to come back home. Nisha goes and talks to her mom. I guess this is after her mom has close the daycare, because when Nisha walks in, she's like, "Oh, it's nice in here. I like what you're doing with the place." So she obviously hadn't been there in a little bit. So, and she looked cute. Her and her mom look cute in this scene.
I just feel like you raising me in a cult, like, has a lot to do with my unhealthy relationship with food.
No, I don't feel like that was part of you gaining weight.
We were not allowed to eat all Sunday, whatever Saturday. If we were there on a Wednesday, we were not allowed to eat. I would go all day at school and not eat and not have nothing until later in the evening. Because you haven't ate all day. You're famished. And you gorge and you overeat because it's like, I haven't ate all day. So all I want to do is eat. And I'm still that way now. And I can't break that out of my head because of how we were.
And first, her mom is defensive, as a lot of us are. It's hard to hear critique about your parenting, even though none of us are perfect.
I was a victim just like you.
You were still an adult. And your main job to me as a parent is to protect your child.
Yeah, I understand that, but manipulation doesn't have an age.
Instead of sweeping it under the rug like she usually does, it was difficult for her. You could see it in her face. You could see like it was hard for her to say those words, but I appreciate and I applaud that she was able to accept some responsibility. That's a good stepping stone.
I apologize. I'm working on it, and I'm trying to do better. I want a better relationship.
You see, you never said that to me. It's sometimes all I want you to do is be human.
I'm here to help. I'm here to be here.
Now that my mom's apologized to me sincerely, I'm willing to let my mom into my heart more, but I feel like moving forward, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be touchy, but I do want to give it a fair chance. I just want us to be like a normal mother and daughter. I do love you, and I do appreciate you.
Come on, poo-poo.
And
I love you too.
I definitely suggest that they do family therapy. I really feel like they could benefit from that would really give them more tools to be able to deal with their own individual triggers and traumas, but then also relate to each other and learn how to not take them out on each other either. So Jazz is finally home after, getting released. So I assume that they did show her in the hospital. She was able to stand up and put weight, stand up and put some weight back on her legs and take a few steps. So she was able to be released. And I hope she continues with physical therapy. And so, Nisha greets her at the door. Everybody's excited. But Nisha greets her with a plate full of something that look like cookies. Please tell me she ain't make this girl no cookies, Lord. And Nana comes home, and so she's so excited. Jazz says she wants to have a serious talk with Nisha, and she's just like, "Hey, look, friend, you need to get your health, prioritize your health, because I don't want you to wait like I did. I don't want you to have to deal with a lot of the physical barriers and stuff that I went through. You don't have to wait till you get to 600 pounds. You know, hey, start where you are, but prioritize your health." And, Nisha says she understands.
Hearing Jazz, I can really understand where she's coming from. This has definitely been a wake-up call for me to make changes, like with my eating habits and just a lifestyle change altogether, because I don't want to be in the same situation that Jazz is in.
I just want to go to the club and twerk.
Girl,
Is it moving?
I'm about to throw this water on you for real.
Is it moving?
No, it's not. It's not. It's dead. It's dead. No, get out of here. I'm not doing this. Goodbye.
A little bit.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so it's good to see that humor back. And I hope that she's doing well with her journey. I really do. It is not easy. I was one of those people before that used to think that surgery was an easy way out or a shortcut. It is not. It is hard and it is a lifelong journey. So I applaud them for their openness and honesty and transparency.
I'm really proud of us. I feel like we've come a long way, just as individuals, as friends.
So Jazz just says, yep, she's ready for the next part of her journey. She's lost so far 168 pounds and she's still, still going. Keep it going, babe. And then Nisha actually has a follow-up appointment scheduled for a few months with Jazz's bariatric doctor. So hopefully they can talk about non-surgical options as well. There's so many things out there. She could meet with dietitians or, nutritionists, since she likes to cook. You just have to learn new ways to cook some of your favorites. Make little small tweaks here and there. Anything helps. But she did say at the end she was still dealing with Joel.
And what about you, love life?
I'm still talking to Joel. He came over the other night.
Girl, wait, really?
Yes!
You told me you had.
I know! I had a weak moment. I know!
Hey, if you like it, I love it, boo. I do feel like you can do better, but hey, if that's what you want, have it. Be happy. So that was the end of 1,000-Pound Roomies. I enjoyed this, and I hope that they get a next season. I'm interested to see how Jazz is going with her surgery journey. I would love to see her progressing and moving more. And I'd like to see Nisha prioritize her health as well, whether that be surgery or not. Yeah, so thanks for joining me along this ride. If you have any ideas, what y'all watching next? Let me know. I'm always looking for something to watch and review. Let's talk about it. Let's dish. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.